Welcome, cavern comrades, to the Dwarven Saga of Righteous. Life was good back in our fortress of Price 2. I was appointed arch-librarian at just 60 years old, and since then, science and art flourished, along with our marvelous fortress. But our lavish and comfortable lifestyle attracted the wrong kind of attention. First the elves declared war on us, and then the humans betrayed us. It turns out many of the visiting bards, scholars and mercenaries that day were nothing more than soldiers in disguise. They overwhelmed our guards and pulled the lever that kept the magma safely in check. The streets were already rivers of magma when they stormed the gates. I gathered everyone I could find and we made our escape through one of the secret tunnels. Along the way we found a pickaxe and an axe, but that was all we had to our name. Even the precious books were left behind. There was no way to save enough of them. The knowledge we carry in our minds is much more precious. 5 of the greatest scholars this world has ever seen, and 2 expert bookmakers. As long as we survive, we can preserve this knowledge, and the memory of our people. We ran as far as we could before lack of food forced us to stop. This volcano shall be our new home. The mistakes of the past cannot be repeated. We must hide ourselves and build a safe haven for any refugees that might find us. We must make ourselves impervious to all attacks, and we shall not only rebuild, but we shall make the greatest library and repository of knowledge this world has ever seen. Even if we are just 7 academics, with no practical knowledge of the world, we shall dig deep and establish ourselves where few surface folk dare venture. And while we await more refugees, we shall survive, by any means necessary, here in Righteous. I immediately set everyone to work, digging in search of the caverns, foraging for food and chopping down trees, so that we can make some desperately needed food. We must have everything ready to welcome any refugees that might find us. It wasn't long until we found a cavern, and it was a beautiful one. We started planning our new home and preparing to breach it. Work was slow, since we had to learn everything from scratch. All the theoretical knowledge was no boon to us now. Praise the gods, some more refugees have found us. They bring tales of indiscriminate destruction. The library is gone, burned to the ground, but there are more survivors at least. We have established a decent starting base. Now is the time to breach the caverns. Cero, a new arrival, has been appointed our militia captain, carrying a single copper axe and a wooden shield. We quickly set about walling off a nice little area, gathering plants and sowing our fields. Thankfully, the wildlife was more scared of us than we were of them. We managed to get the most important thing done, producing ale. But the food situation was desperate, so we set about placing traps. Those draughtas could be a useful source of food, leather and bone. We don't have an anvil yet, so bone and leather are precious. It seems some great owl men are passing by. They did not bother us, and we did not bother them. Unfortunately, they ended up trapped in our cages. Now we have to come up with a use for them. Meanwhile, our miner has been busy. We need workshops, bedrooms and a barracks for Cero. We are much too vulnerable here. We need to get some soldiers training. Today a caravan came by. We must remain hidden here. For all intents and purposes, we are nothing but poor refugees, living on the surface with nothing to trade. They left empty-handed. Hopefully we don't draw any more attention. We also found some interesting gem pillars here, with huge diamonds. We will be sure to mine those out later. Some proper gems for our future library. Id, one of the new migrants, has joined Cero as a soldier. They are now equipped with bone armor, wooden shields and obsidian swords. Some damned troglodytes clambered up our walls and started attacking our dwarves. In the fight, our recruit Id perished, but Cero and our newest recruit, Iteb, managed to put him down. Our first kill and our first death. What a bloody scene. At least we can start making some leather armor from that Draughtas we captured. And the second troglodyte to visit us met a quick end at Cyril's hands. Things on the surface are also getting agitated. Thankfully, the caravan guards were still around, and just in time to protect our newest wave of refugees. We now also have gold and all we need to make steel. If only we had an anvil to work with. Meanwhile, we are making a new workshop area as well as bedrooms, offices, and dining halls for all our dwarves. And we have inducted a new recruit into the military, Kip. We need an anvil, and there is only one way you can get it without anyone knowing. And did I tell you we captured that troll? He could be useful. As our soldiers train and work continues, we are also preparing our metalworking operations. Iloral, the bookmaker, has become a masterful miner, and so I assigned him the dangerous mission of breaching the volcano. Perfect! Now the only thing missing is that damned anvil. Now properly equipped and trained, our soldiers are ready for the next stage of our mission. Oh no! It seems we have some bad people infesting the caverns, flying monsters with steel spears and shields. This is our most serious threat yet. The bat killed one of our children, but logic prevailed and the beast was not killed, but instead trapped. Their meat is not good for eating, but I have a plan. Meanwhile, we have also begun work on our temple. Every dwarf needs a proper place to pray, but it will take a while. We are slowly trying to expand, but those damned bad people are always flying in from unexpected places and causing trouble. Seems every corner of this tavern is infested with them. At least we can loot their steel spears. And with everything ready, the time has come. There is only one way to get an anvil. We steal it. The humans probably have some in their towns. You must get one and escape undetected. And so I ordered Cyril to lead his squad on its first mission. Good luck, Dwarflings. Due to the constant assaults by the bad people, I have ordered all dwarves to wear armor and weapons. It is much too dangerous here without Cyril and his troops. Oh, Cyril has returned. They managed to sneak in undetected, but no anvil was found. A few days rest, and I will have to send them out again. We really need an anvil. Meanwhile, work continues, as do our raids. And then real trouble came knocking. Utimi, the forgotten beast, has come, and what an ugly thing. Thankfully Cyril and his squad had not yet departed. We had another plan to save dwarven lives, but that didn't even slow down that monstrosity. It was up to the soldiers now. The beast came barreling down a corridor, but Itab was not fazed. He rushed the monster with his axe, skillfully dodging and hacking away until there was nothing left moving. For saving our forces, I bestowed upon him a new title. Itab, the Master of Abominations. He shall be remembered in the Chronicles. Those bad people are more trouble than the mighty forgotten beasts, it seems, picking off our children one by one. At least it's just the children. As long as we have our 5 scholars alive, and we get a damned anvil, then all will be well. These damned bats really are everywhere. Our raids continue to return empty-handed. Meanwhile, we have made a nice little corridor for the stupid bats, with traps at the side, and a cave collapse trap in the middle. We were planning to funnel them here, but they keep flying in from all sides. And then, to make matters even better, a new terror shows up. Shedim, the forgotten beast. I almost felt bad for it. After chasing around elk birds to exhaustion, the beast fell upon 2 bad people, who promptly speared it to death in an instant. No dwarves lost, so I can't complain, I guess. But that meat and bones would have been useful. Goddamn bats. Because of them we have to prioritize building an hospital and a well. They really are a pest. No match for our obsidian swords, but the children are not having a good time. At least more refugees arrive, boosting our numbers to 26. They should really help with work around here, while a new squad will be made. Meanwhile, we have been putting our captured bad people in a special chamber in our surface entrance, a nice little surprise for any visitors. Good to see those new children are already being put to good use. At least we now have bedrooms, offices, and dining halls for all our first 15 dwarfs. More will be needed for the new arrivals. Oh, and it seems we soon will have our first mastercraft. Kib, the recruit, has become inspired and claimed our jeweler's workshop. A yellow zircon earring. Quite beautiful. I think I shall keep it for myself. The arch-librarian must be easily distinguished from the common folk after all. One more dead to the wretched bats. I'm running out of curses to call those winged demons. Meanwhile, our search for the anvil continues without success. Sauron and his two companions have become very talented indeed, and work on our home continues. And have I told you how much I hate these damn bats? We tried to install our captured troll in a rope, so that he could fight the bats instead of us. But the fool escaped and made his way to the surface, coming across a human that was trying to sneak a visit to our downstairs fortress. The troll really gave him a beating, and just as he was about to taste freedom, he fell into one of our traps again, the idiot. All the while, more bats keep coming into the cavern. There's a real army of them over here. One of our green recruits wandered too close to them. Nothing we can do for him now, but the absolute idiot managed to attract a significant amount of them to our fortress. We will have to fight. Sarol and his two companions have really become masters of their trade, slaying the bats one after the other. Their weapons shall be put to good use now that we have received more refugees. 47 dwarves now, and 2 full squads. I feel safer, but those bats are still picking off civilians. Too many holes in our walls. At least he got our troll back in his leash. Let's hope he can fight off some bats. Nope, not a single bat, that useless troll. At least we have another. Or should I say heads, another. It seems some of our new recruits got a bit trigger happy. Today, I set out another raid, and inaugurated our hospital. We now have clean water, cloth, and soap to treat our many wounded. And of course, don't forget the bats. There's always bats. The raid was another failure. Does no one have an anvil laying around? At least our home is shaping up nicely. I guess it's time for a new raid. Or maybe not. I quickly recalled Sarol, for the brush titan Odur had wandered into our lands. He gathered our soldiers underground. We had a few surprises for the monster, but in the end, we were the ones left with mouths agape. For behold, Kubukral, the mighty donkey, slayer of titans, master of beasts. This poor animal had followed us on our journey, but we abandoned it on the surface as we made our way down. I had forgotten about him, but he has hoofed a titan to death, and for that he deserves a place in our fort. He shall have a fancy pen, with a statue of himself slaying the beasts. And back to raiding, I guess. Get me that anvil. Another failure, and another mastercraft. And more bats. This time, our mission failed rather spectacularly. Not only did they not get an anvil, they got caught, and Kib was imprisoned. Sarol, Ideb, and Kib were masters of the craft. We will have to rescue him at some point. Look at that pen. We even gave him some company. A female donkey one of the refugees brought. I pet him every time I walk by. Meanwhile, work on our fortress continues. And the constant assault by the bats reminds us that every citizen here must carry his own weapons and armor. The humans are now openly at war with us, Let us hope we can escape detection on our new raids. A child genius finished his masterwork today. He shall be put on display in our little tavern, for all to appreciate. Those bats won't leave us alone. One by one they are picking us off. At this rate, it won't be long until one of the scholars ends up dead. Oh, finally! We did it! Oh, glorious day! Praise our Mark and all the gods! The anvil! Cyril got it! The mad bastard did it! Our forges are ready to go. Our stockpiles of gold and steel have grown large. Nothing will stop us now. Between all the bats and the hunting, our new squad is also shaping up nicely. Now that we don't have to raid, we had 2 full squads for protection. Not that we don't suffer losses. Half our soldiers are permanently injured. But we have made it. We have survived, and we finally have our metalsmith forge ready to go. Now we can focus on what truly matters. Building golden bookcases for our future library. That and, well, preparing traps. Lots and lots of traps. Most of which will involve magma. Just you wait, you damn bats. 16 dead dwarves so far. At least our numbers keep growing, as we are now at 67 dwarves. And one more forgotten beast to assail us. This one could also fly, of course. It's not like we lack flying things around here. An idiot civilian thought it would be a good time to go and take a peek at the beast, but soon had his skull crushed instead. Cyril and his soldiers quickly put an end to it after that. A recent recruit landed a final blow. Besmar, the Tamer of Horrors. Giving out these titles at least helps distract the populace from all the deaths. And then the humans attacked. It seems burning down our hall was not enough. They sent an army of traitor dwarves and wolf people to wipe the last survivors from the face of the earth. Their cruelty knows no bounds. But we are prepared. They believe us no more than poor refugees, scraping by on the surface. First, we distracted them with a pack of great owl men. Then, we burst forth in a mad frenzy, cutting them to pieces with our obsidian blades. None escaped alive to tell the tale. It lost 1 recruit, but we also got a small taste of revenge. 3 dozen dead human collaborators, a fair trade. And 1 more dwarf got inspired today. The arts and crafts are really shining here. And soon enough he presented me with Mangozili, a gabbro crown. I shall be honored to wear it, of course. Our home is shaping up nicely. Work on our temple continues. And it's time to start planning our next venture, the grandest of all. Work shall begin soon, if that damn bats ever leave us alone. At least refugees keep finding us, and we are now up to 90 dwarflings. Oh, and what a surprise, 1 more artist is inspired. And he created a marvelous ring. It too shall look good in my hand. Another stupid child went and got himself killed, waking up a colony of bats. Another 3 dead. Great. And our trap corridor is useless. The bats rarely even go inside it. At least the work on our library is going well. And guess what happened next? Yep, more bats. And another dead child. We need to change our strategy here. And then the humans came. And a dwarf got inspired. Things never stop here. We released some great owl people on them, but it wasn't very effective. We had another surprise for them, but the fiends managed to sneak into our fortress. Dwarven power would have to solve this problem. They have seen our secret base, and cannot be allowed to escape. Just as bloodthirsty as last time, they butchered 2 precious children before we got to them. And no, it wasn't a bad person that killed the second child, it was the humans, I swear it. And while our fort has grown, and is starting to prosper, we are back down to only 62 dwarves. The assault of the bad people never relents. Just look at how many of them there are in just this corner. We will have to get creative. Those infernal bats. Today they attacked Kubukral, the donkey. We had to come rescue it. It was a close one. A new safer enclosure will be built. Oh boy, one more inspired artist. I wonder what we will get this time. And while we wait, work never stops. Our library is coming along nicely. And there we have it, the Tamushir, the Olivine crown. I guess we could use another crown. The arch-librarian must always look glorious. And did someone say more bats? Yep, at least a sizable wave of refugees found us today, and we are back up to 85 dwarves. Enough is enough. Those bats will have to deal with several now. But these beasts are not intelligent enough to learn a lesson. Today, the humans came to lay siege one more time. But the cowards got so spooked by some giant crows, they retreated in a panic. What a disgrace. Sometimes the minds of my fellow dwarves really escape my comprehension. What a mess. Some dwarves decided the best way to smooth the walls of our library was not inside, where it is safe and there aren't any bad people. No, the best way is to wander the caverns alone and wake up a colony of bats. So many dead, and for what? It was then up to Cyril and his soldiers to clear out the bats. Again. At least refugees still come despite the danger. They have nowhere else to go really. We shall also build a vault, a safe space to store our most precious artifacts and books. Oh, dark day indeed. Kubukral, the mighty, the slayer of titans, has perished. Killed by a vile goddamn bat. That is it. I declare war on these creatures. We will not be safe while a single one of them persists. We must rid the caverns of them once and for all. At least Kubukral had children with his mate. His line shall live on. The mightiest donkeys this world has ever seen. And work on our fortress continues. Our temple, our library, bedrooms, offices, barracks, workshops, so much to do. We need more dwarves. But life goes on, and our fortress grows. Thank you for watching. Keep chugging that plump ale wine, and until next time.